Hi friends, and welcome to a cool and foggy day here on our bend in the river. It's kind of chilly, the autumn season is finally upon us, the electricity, the excitement is running through me like a kid on his first day of school. I love this time of year, and speaking of loving things, you know we love to search all over the continent. If you're a frequent flyer, you know that we look everywhere to find the best people and the best opportunity to have the best time, and when it comes to smallmouth bass fishing, this could well be it. Cameraman Dan Fox and I are headed up north to Nakina, Ontario to fish with our good friend Mr. Greg Bergeron in Nakina Air Service. And if you're a frequent flyer, well, you might recall we've gone this way before, but the smallmouth fishing in this particular lake is incredible. Folks, there's not supposed to be any smallmouth north of Queens Highway 11 in Ontario, and you'd think, you know, the conventional wisdom says that if there were, they'd be stunted, smaller due to the cold weather and the growing season being a lot shorter. Well, if you were following conventional wisdom when it applies to these smallmouth anyway, you'd just be wrong. Yeah. These fish are huge. I'm talking 3 to 5 pound average and 6 pounders pretty common and even a few 7 pounders thrown in. I've never seen the like of this place in all of my years. We're going to get in a boat. We're going to rock it out there. We had to wait out a couple of thunderstorms, but even with the bad weather, we went out and had a day of fishing I'm sure I'll never equal. Hey, I'm your host, Kyle Randall. This is my Wilderness Journal, and we're headed out looking for some super smallies right now. When it finally quit raining, we threw all our stuff in Greg's bass boat. And by we, I mean Greg, of course, Dan the cameraman, Fox, and myself. And in just minutes, he had us in a sheltered bay starting to work the edge of the shoreline. That's one of the great things about coming up here. There's so much water, so many places to fish. You can always find something out of the wind, some structure to work. And speaking of working the structure,
nice fish.
Nice fish, boss. Not getting it figured out. Slowly.
That's all it takes.
And just that quick, we had our first fish. We hadn't been fishing like 15 seconds, literally the first cast or two, and Greg already had a great smallmouth in the boat. And despite the fact that it was starting to cloud back up again and threatening rain, it wasn't another 2 or 3 casts, and
I think it's a smallmouth.
I thought you said that was a big enough rod for that fish in here.
I might have to take a little time with it.
You think? Uh-huh. Well, we didn't plan on fighting one fish all day. Was you planning on just catching this one, or? This is the adult size.
Yeah. Boy.
Oh, I think so. Not bad for a camera guy.
Yeah.
You know. I'm glad.
We'll get him in here.
I'm glad you're taking your time playing with him, because this is the only one we're going to have time for you to catch.
This will be the last one.
It's going to get dark soon.
Oh, yeah.
That do you?
I think that's a keeper.
Well, yeah, most places that's a start anyway here.
Wow. And away he goes.
What do you think? Now you're glad you made that ride?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all right now, isn't it?
Wait till the rain comes.
Yeah, wait till you're getting wet and tell me again. The rain was obviously coming back.
More coming by. Let's put it over there.
Still, it didn't seem to be bothering the fish much. In fact, just a couple of more casts up the shore and Dan had another fish on.
You don't want to come up.
They don't fight much though, do they?
Big time. And another one bites the dust.
Uh-huh. And you were the cameraman, that's right? You guys are all the same.
Yeah.
No, I'll run the camera. Let me hold that rod. Fishing was so good, before Dan could even find his pliers to get the hooks out of the fish he just caught.
Oh, there we are.
Uh-oh, another one. Two fish in one boat.
Come on. Oh.
I saw it. They didn't look all that big, though. It's kind of small.
Oh, boy.
Huh.
Let's try that again.
They're just not all that aggressive, are they?
No.
I had the same problem earlier. Truthfully, the fish were obviously plenty aggressive, but hey, you know, you got to say something. Just a quick swat there. We'll give him another chance because I'm all about second chances. And speaking of aggressive fish,
Kyle Randall does know how to fish.
don't tell stories I can't live up to. I think there's something down there, Greg. You may have been onto something. Probably no more than 2 ounces bigger than the one you caught, Greg. Come here, you unfortunate fool. Why did you bite on that hook, huh? Are you crazy? Smallmouth bass fishing in northern Ontario.
They're not supposed to be smallmouth.
They're not supposed to be any smallmouth here. You call Greg at Nikina Air Service, and if he likes you, he just might show you where you can get some of these. And if he don't like you, he'll send you back to Wawa.
Yeah.
That's a dandy, eh? We'll let that one go. Sit. Oh, there.
Show me how to do that again, Kyle. Come on.
Well, I don't know. I might have used it all up right there, buddy. I'll try, though. Yes, I think I'd call those aggressive fish. And speaking of...
Oh, this one's a lot bigger than that one you had.
Yeah, like I said.
Oh, yeah.
7, 8, 12, 10, 15 pounder, eh?
Wow.
The fish were so aggressive, in fact, while Greg was wrestling with that 5-pounder, I actually threw out, hooked, and landed yet another fish. Here, Greg, can you hold that for me? Oh. We're going to compare. Look at that. That's a beauty. 5 of those in the Derby would be all right.
That would help.
Yeah. Friends, hopefully you took note of that act of sportsmanship I just showed you. You don't want the other guy to have to suffer comparing his fish to yours, so the best thing to do is just quietly release your own and, go back to fishing. There's one right there.
Oh, yeah.
There, you hit him. That's fine. Pick your line up.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
I was looking up there to cast. I saw your line shoot sideways. Go ahead and wrap
There's
that
another
around
one
that-
chasing it right there.
Wrap that around that speed troller.
That's what I was just looking at.
Oh,
You know, my hands dirty.
You do that different in Canada than we do it in the States. But not a lot different. Right there, that's where the big one's at. We'll fish right on the other side of Greg so he can't catch it. All you got to do is cast over his line and tangle it.
Yeah.
No, you must. I don't think he's quite done. He said, I'll eat that. Oh, yeah. He said, I'll take that, Mr. Randall. Oh, now they're just dandy small. I think there's a fish by that rock. I could be mistaken. What a terrible way to spend a summer afternoon, huh? Somewhere there's a guy painting a porch. You know what I mean? Mowing grass, cleaning the schmutz off the grill from Father's Day. And I want you to know he hates both of us. Another beautiful, beautiful fish. Friends, we were having such a good time. While I was releasing my fish, I actually could hear Greg reeling. He wasn't saying anything, though. He's trying to quietly reel in.
I'm leaving them down there for bait for Kyle here.
Well,
So
keep it up.
all his buddies will come around here.
He's respectable.
Come here.
Friends, you want to know how good the fishing really was? Think back to the last time you were out catching smallmouth and the guys in your boat were trying to hide 2 and 3 pounders because they didn't measure up to the average fish you were catching. Yeah, and this place was definitely the real deal. Friends, believe me when I tell you, those were some real smallies, and we were just getting started. And even though the weather was supposed to go from bad to kind of worse that day, we were sticking with it. You know us, no quit in our outfit. As long as the fish are biting, we're going to keep chunking baits and setting hooks. I can't tell you that everything went perfect, though. We were, after all, fishing. If you're a fisher person, if you've done this much, then you probably already know. Whenever you're out fishing, especially for fish that fight this hard, well, let's just say you don't always land, everything you hook.
He said, no, thank you. He didn't care for that at all. He said, I don't know what that is, but I don't want it. It's got teeth.
Fortunately, when you're out fishing with friends, there's always somebody there to kind of give you support, to lend you a hand, give you a few tips and suggestions, or something.
Ooh, that sounded big.
I think he just dropped his watch. He wears a pretty healthy Rolex, Those pilots are all rich. What do you got there, Greg?
Oh, actually, not the biggest one.
No?
Not the biggest of the night, but.
Hey, Greg, how was that knot you tied? Pretty sound or no?
Was for the first half of the flight.
Was it? Now look, Dan, don't do that.
And sometimes, even if you go out of your way to help a guy,
I got a rock bass.
That's a piece of Canada right there, buddy. Oh, well, you had your turn. Nice try, though. Good form.
Yes, obviously we didn't catch them all, but this place is so great, you could lose a dozen fish, and honest to goodness, you could go down the shore a dozen yards and you could hook a dozen more.
What are you doing? Oh,
The fishing is just that good.
You're just teasing us. Oh. All right, then maybe he's not done. I thought he was. There, come here now. Quit all that nonsense. Quick. I'm going to let you go. Look, there's just no quickness. Even at the boat, they don't quit. Look at that toad. Don't show that to Greg. He's up there trying to tie his line. He says his eyesight's going. What he doesn't know is we smeared bug dope all over those sunglasses we give him. He thinks he's going blind up there in the front of the boat. We'll put him back right there. Oh, what a dandy. Getting a little starter. How you doing up there? I like your new boat, man. I do. It's a nice boat. You need a little help?
Friends, the fishing was so hot, even the camera guy was catching them.
Oh, tree jumpers.
That's a pretty good fish, too. It's going to rain, though. Greg, just go ahead and cut it off.
What do you think? There's some smallies up here or what?
Oh, man, I've never seen smallies.
There he is.
Beautiful, sir. Beautiful.
Isn't that a pretty fish?
No. That thing's ugly. It's green and
I've
slimy.
been taking pictures all night with the camera. I catch one fish, and my fish isn't even pretty.
No, it's not. Look at it. It's kind of bug-eyed. If I'd have caught that, it'd been beautiful.
Thank you.
You're
A
welcome.
couple fish like that make the trip up here worthwhile.
Anytime.
Wow, I've never seen smallmouth fishing like that. That's something.
Well, we'll try it again in the morning if it ain't raining. What do you say?
What if it's raining? I want to go out anyway.
Well, you have to stay in and watch the gear.
I don't know, does it look like we're having fun? Unfortunately, it looked like the rain was setting in for a good long while, and on top of that, the wind was starting to build, the temperature was really dropping, so yeah, we put on our rain gear and went right back to fishing. That second morning dawned cloudy and cool and windy and raining. Fortunately, the fish were still biting. In fact, the guys had a double on, and even though Dan had lost his half of it right at the boat, Greg was still working a dandy
I
fish.
think that one he lost right at the boat there was much bigger. The fish that got away, it was huge.
Yeah.
What do you call that bait you're using there, Greg?
Secret bait.
The secret bait. It ain't a secret. You can see it from the dock. Okay. That's not a bad way to start a morning, is it?
Too bad, eh?
Sorry to tear you away from flying like I have, but I appreciate it. That's a good fish, buddy.
Good way to do her.
Yes, sir. Beautiful.
Goodbye.
So here's the good news. You caught a nice fish. Here's the bad news. There's over 2.5 million people watch this show. That bait ain't a secret.
Fortunately for Greg, you didn't need a secret bait to catch fish, not in this lake. We had it so good, friends, even the sun started to come out, the day started to warm up, and rain or shine, like I said, the fish, they just kept biting.
There he is. There's a couple around this point. Yeah, there's 1 or 6 or 8. Oh,
Did you lose another one?
broke my line.
Broke your line again.
I'm just donating.
I'm telling you, folks, bass fishing in Nikina, it ain't for sissies. Leave your Snoopy pole at home. Dan,
Yeah.
leave your Snoopy. At least you hooked and
We were still having our issues. Yeah, we weren't catching them all. But friends, I honestly believe we could have stayed out there for a week and just kept hooking big old smallies.
There he goes. Get down.
Missing some good hooks.
What do you think of that? You done?
That'll work.
Yeah, it'll work until a good one
How
comes
come it takes you a lot less time to get your fish in than it does me?
Because Eagle Valley Outfitters does have adult fishing equipment, Dan. It isn't all the youth section. That's a beautiful fish, probably 18, 19 incher anyway. That's just as good as it gets anywhere I've been. Put him back, he'll get, believe it or not, just a little bit bigger. If it looks like I'm having fun. There's, I don't know, 86, 87% chance that I am. And that number could go higher.
Now, friends, just in case you were wondering what kind of baits we were using,
Kyle, do you want to show us your secret bait? Do you want to show us your secret bait?
No.
He swears by these gulp
No,
baits.
they don't want. Did you want one of those gulp baits?
I have some.
Really? What are you doing with those?
I saw you last year with those, and I went and got a few.
so much for my secret bait, eh?
For me, it's a really good prospecting bait.
Yeah?
I don't know. Just don't. Think. That noise out there isn't. I didn't drop my watch.
Friends, it's really no secret. I fish the paddle tail gulp and some of the other swim baits basically because, yeah, they work.
How about this one?
Oh. Everybody at home said, oh, you can look back here now where the fish is. Easy. Easy. That's all right. I mean, it's not near as good as the one Greg lost, but...
But it's a fish in the boat.
Well, hey, I'm all right with it. You know me, I'm not greedy. Thanks, buddy. You gotta love it. You gotta love a fish that'll make you look good. You get back in there. I'm getting tired, Dan. You might want to spell me. You know.
K-Y-L-E?
No, I was thinking more along the lines of catch fish, but if you don't want to, that's all right.
We were running out of time, but you know me. I think there's always time for at least, one more cast.
I'll catch this. Ooh, hit that again. Come on, make me look good. That boy. You just gotta love a fish that'll listen. This one isn't quite so big, but he sure is very, very compliant. Look at that. He came up and whacked it. I missed him clean. He very politely came up and whacked it again. Hard to complain about that. Dandy. I really do appreciate you bringing us out here, partner. This is something, believe it or not, I look forward to every year, coming up here and this bass fishing has gotten to be every bit as much fun as anything else we do up here. And on the behalf of Dan, too, I do want to thank you. It's so much fun, and it's so different. And well, let's be honest, there's so many big fish. That's what the great people and the great place are just that.
Rain or shine, north or south, friends, that was hands down the best day of bass fishing I have ever had the pleasure of being involved with. Great people in a great place, having a riot, catching huge fish. That is exactly the kind of opportunity we search all over North America looking for. And I gotta tell you, I'm standing here wondering how in the world will we ever top that next year? And knowing full well we're gonna go back and at least try, yeah. That, friends, is indeed my idea of a super smallmouth trip. What a great time we had. It was a riot, like I said. And I really want to thank my good friend and our host, Mr. Greg Bergeron from up at Nakina Air, for sharing his boat and his super fishing place with us. And while I'm handing out thanks, I too need to thank Captain Dan, the cameraman, for letting me fish a little bit, and the great camera work. Great people, a great place, great fishing. That's what we look all over the country for, and this is indeed one of those places. Hey, if that's something you'd like to try, grab some family, some friends, go out and wet a line. Try your luck with those battling bronzebacks. I truly believe they're one of the fightingest fish we have, and they're truly under pressure. There's not a lot of people out there fishing for them. And if you, like I, find yourself hooked up on a big old good one, well, I hope we run into you. I hope we get the chance to share a few fishing stories, a cup and a fire. And if we don't see you out there, friends, well, at the very least, I hope to find all of you right back here for another adventure from my Wilderness Journal. Thanks again, Greg. We had a tremendous time. The Wilderness Journal is underwritten by